To start with, there was Shora, a small fishing village on the shore of the North Sea, tight against the man-made dike. It had a few houses, a church, a school, of course, and 6 children.
It's 8 o'clock.
Yellow, we'll be late.
Oh, we still got half a minute.
Yellow, stop throwing rocks at the seagulls. You'll hurt them.
That's just what I'm trying to do. Watch this throw. I almost got him.
Yellow, you know you shouldn't do that.
Oh, come on, we gotta be
Come on,
late.
Yellow, don't throw rocks.
And there were other people.
Those kids.
But these were older people, so they weren't too important. And there were, a few other children. Toddlers, so they weren't important either. But the actual children, in their wooden shoes...
Hey, Lina!
Come on, Yellow, we'll be late.
What you got there?
Story?
We didn't have to write a story.
I know.
Hurry!
A small village. 6 children, 5 boys, and Lina was the only girl. But she made up for it. She had imagination enough for all 5 boys. And I was the teacher. Now, class, in this problem...
Teacher?
9 times 10 divided by 3
Teacher?
is... Yes, Lina? Can't you follow the problem?
Can I read a story about storks?
Hey, sit down, Lina.
Did you say storks?
What do we want to hear about storks?
There's no storks in Shora.
Be quiet, Yellow.
Be quiet, everyone. Yes, Lina, you can read it.
Hey, that's not about storks.
Yeah, Yela, boys, let her read.
Do you know about storks?
No, do you?
Do you know about storks? Storks that live on your roof bring good luck. They are big and white, and even taller than a boy or girl. Have long yellow bills and tall yellow legs. When they build a nest on a roof, they bring good luck to the whole village.
Who said?
My aunt who lives in Nest. They got storks. Storks do not sing. They clap their bills instead.
All birds sing.
Yela, please.
Storks don't. They clap their bills, just like teacher's ruler.
Yes, that is true. That's true, Lina. But not quite so sternly. Like this. All right, finish, Lina.
That's all I know about storks. Because storks never come to Shora.
Uh-huh. And what do you know about storks, Yela?
Storks?
Storks?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. And the twins? Pierre, what do you know about storks?
Nothing.
Dirk?
Nothing. That's the trouble with being twins. When we don't know something, we don't know a double.
And you, Auka?
If they made noises like Lina said, they'd be fun.
Elka?
Well, if storks came to Shora, then maybe I'd know about storks.
Uh-huh. Well, now, if everybody began to think about storks, do you think that things would begin to happen? Auka?
I can't think much about storks. I'd be done in a minute.
Well, now that's true, Auka. We can't think when we don't know too much, but we can wonder. So, till tomorrow, will you all just wonder why? Why storks don't come to nest in Shora? For sometimes when we wonder, we can make things begin to happen. And if you'll do that, just wonder. School's out right now.
Let's go sit and wonder why, like the teacher said.
Oh, no.
Yella, you sit here, and you here, and you here, and you two here, and I'll sit here. And we'll just wonder. Let's see. I wonder, why don't storks nest on our roofs? Now, if I were a stork...
This is dull.
I'm through. Nothing to think about.
Hey, let's go ditch let's go. All right, come on. Get my pole.
Yella, can I go too?
Oh, no. Girls are no good at jumping. They scream and giggle and get scared. So long. Hey, you get your pole. I'll get mine. I'll meet you there. Come on.
I don't care. Tomorrow in class they'll be stupid. They won't know about storks. I won't play with them ever again. For a whole day. For a week. For 3 weeks. Anyhow, storks are more fun. I wonder about storks. Wonder why they... Now, if I were a stork, I wouldn't stand on that roof. It's much too sharp.
You, girl.
Oh, Grandma Sybil.
I'm a nosy old thing, eh? But what are you thinking about so hard? I've been watching you all scrunched up and thinking. Well, that doesn't sound very interesting. Tell me, or I won't sleep all night trying to guess.
Well, you see, I was thinking about storks.
Storks? No wonder you looked lost. There are no storks in Shora.
But I figured out why.
Oh? Well, I've been trying to figure that out for 75 years.
It's because our roofs are too sharp.
Sharp, eh? Now, you're being pretty sharp yourself. If it were only the sharp roofs, why, we could fix that by putting wheels up on the roofs. Then the storks might come again.
Grandma Sybil, were there ever storks in Shora?
Aye, there were. Once.
When? I didn't know.
Aye, well, I'm about the only one remembers it, I suppose. A long time ago. A long, long time ago. When I was a little girl, the only girl in Shora, just like you are. My grandmother's house had trees, and it had storks. Storks on the roof. Oh, it was nice. The house was right where your school is now, and there was even a moat in front of it with fish in it.
Oh.
But one day a storm came. It rained 1 full week, and the wind blew the salt spray from the ocean for 1 full week. And when it was over, the birds left and the storks left, and they never came back. And pretty soon they even tore down my grandma's house.
Oh, I never knew. I just didn't know.
Well, class, you've had a full day for thinking. Now, who wondered why?
I did, teacher.
Oh, we did not. He went ditch jumping. Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, that wasn't nice. Now, Yella, what did you think?
Well, now, I didn't really.
Oh,
I asked my mother.
well, asking is next to thinking. What did your mother say?
She said storks don't come to Shora because they never didn't, so they never will.
Oh, that's foolish.
Lina.
But storks did come to Shora.
Oh?
Who told you?
Well, Grandma Sybil said when I asked her, she said when she was a girl, the only girl in Shora, a long time ago, there were storks here, but a storm came and killed the trees and it spoiled the nest and the storks flew away. So it must be because we have such sharp roofs. Storks can't build nests on sharp roofs.
Then let's put wheels on the roofs.
Let's get 100 wheels. Let's put one on the school.
Well, class, what do you think?
It's all gonna take too long.
Well, making a dream come true sometimes takes very long.
Maybe we could have a moat with fish in it.
Fine. Well, then now to get everything started, what must we do?
Find a wheel and put it on a roof.
Then first we must find a wheel, then we'll try to get storks to nest in Shora, and then maybe even a moat with fishes. Agreed?
Yes, let's go.
Wait. We can't just run off. We must make plans. The stork season will start in a day or so, and they'll be flying in from the sea and over Shora by the hundreds. You see, we haven't much time.
Teacher, where do they all come from?
Well, that is quite a story, Lina. The boys will be interested, too. Every year, the big storks fly hundreds of miles over the Great Sea to Holland and to Germany and to other parts of Europe. And do you know where they come from?
Where?
From Africa. Deep in the hot, damp heart of Africa, near a river and a swamp. Right among the zebras and gazelles, and the lions and buffaloes. There are hippopotamuses in the water, blowing and snorting, and a big rhinoceros is on shore looking at the storks, who are spearing fish with their quick beaks. And today, this very minute, because it's getting too hot and too dry in Africa, they're picking themselves up and starting to fly over the sea toward Shora. So then, let's make plans to get our storks.
Let's get them now! But where do we look?
Every place, any place. We look where there might be a wheel, and then we look where there couldn't possibly be a wheel. Agreed?
Yes! Oh, look at my shoes!
Now that the children had started to wonder and to think and to plan, the unexpected began to happen, and the whole countryside was soon in an uproar.
Open the door! Open the door! Teach you to go around.
Yela!
Oh, you the teacher?
Yes?
What goes on in this school anyway? Teaching children to steal, eh? Here I am on my farm, digging a ditch, and I look up and see this wheel rolling down the road. I look at my shed where my wheel should be, and it's gone. And that's my wheel rolling down the road.
I didn't steal it. I looked all over for him. I even left him a note.
A note, eh?
Anyhow, tell him to let go of my ear.
Well, it took some doing, but I persuaded the farmer at last to let go of Yella's ear.
Thing or two?
Gee.
And I convinced him, I hope, that Yella was no thief.
Look! Teacher! Look there!
The farmer and I looked up. There, above the dike, high in the sky over the sea, white huge wings flapping, 2 storks flew. Over the sea, over the church tower, high, straight. They didn't dip down for Shora, or pause or circle. And then they were white dots winging off in that enormous blue sky.
They didn't stop.
They hadn't even looked down at tiny Shora. Still, 5 children scattered throughout the countryside would see those storks. Little Lina out by the dike would see them. Would they lose heart or double their effort? I'd sent Pierre and Dirk on the road south, out to the village of Ternad.
Hello, Dirk. I went to 5 farms, but no wheel. Hello, Pierre. I went to 5 farms, no wheel. Did you see the storks? Yes, they're beginning to come. What's that? Oh, that's just crazy legless Yanis. He's got that tin hanging and banging on his cherry tree to scare away the birds. Hey, let's ask Yanis. And get whipped, not me. I'm scared of that old legless grouch in his wheelchair. Maybe we could sneak in and look in his backyard. I'm scared. Look, you go to the fence by the cherry tree, yeah, make a lot of noise, yeah, as though you're going to climb over and steal some cherries. Janice will want to catch you. Meanwhile, I'll sneak in back. I'll just grab the fence, but I won't climb up. Okay, take care, Pierre. I'll just open the gate. Quietly. Sneak in. Look around. Dirk! Dirk! Drop from the tree! Old Janice is coming out in his wheelchair. He's gonna smash your head!
Boy, stand, or I'll hit you with a rock. Don't you move. Stay where you are. Come to steal my cherries, eh? Tricky, eh? One in front while the other sneaks in back, eh? Caught you, eh?
We don't want the cherries, Yanis. Leave him alone, Yanis. We don't want your old cherries. We're looking for a wagon wheel.
A wagon wheel?
Yeah,
A wagon wheel?
it's for storks.
Storks? Well, now, that's either the best lie I ever heard or quite a story, eh?
This is the truth.
Well, let's ask your teacher.
Okay.
Janus, it's true. The wheel is for storks.
Storks, eh? For Shora? Mm-hmm. Well, at least that's an honest bird. It doesn't steal cherries. Huh. But no wheels around, eh? Well, I haven't any to... Hey, don't look at that wheelchair. You weren't thinking of robbing a poor legless man of his wheelchair, were you?
They're too small.
Oh, so you were thinking about it.
No!
Janus, you had the children scared. They mean no harm.
Me? A legless man scare him? Are you scared of me, boy?
Well... Janus,
Yes, boy?
how'd you lose your legs? Did a shark bite them off?
A shark! Is that what you lads say?
Well, they say that's what makes you so mean.
No, it wasn't a shark. If it was, now, maybe I wouldn't be so mean, eh? That would be something to sort of boast of.
I suppose so.
It was a mosquito bit off my legs. A mosquito!
Oh, come on. A mosquito?
Honest! It bit me one night and I scratched it. Scratched it so hard it bled. But I just left it alone and I got blood poisoning. And the doctor had to cut them off.
Here and Dirk stood there quietly looking at Janus in his wheelchair. For if a mosquito had done that to this powerful man, how could they be scared of him? Suddenly it seemed they understood Janus, why he hid behind his fence, and why he was so grouchy. Janus saw their look, and he frowned. But he knew now he had two friends.
Wheel, eh? Storks, eh? Maybe legless Janus can do something, eh?
Aye, things had begun to happen, as they do always when thinking starts. But where were the others? Lina, Elka, Auka. Then coming down the road to the school, we saw Elka and Jela, wet, soaking wet, and without a wheel. And they looked as if they had nearly drowned.
It fell apart.
What fell apart, Elka?
The wheel, I had one.
He broke it and the rim rolled in the canal.
Let's try fishing it.
How do you know?
Stop this babble! Quiet! Quiet! Teacher, you have a rake?
Yes, we have, Janus.
Get it, and we'll dredge the canal. We'll get that wheel. Now, you boys, you wet ones, you afraid of me? Hey, I asked you.
Yes.
Well, then all of you push the wheelchair. If you do something for me, maybe you won't be so scared of
Here's
me.
the rake, Janus.
Give it to me. All right, now off we go. On to the canal. Push! Yippee! Out of the way, all you mortals! Janus is coming!
The boys were soon vying to push Janus in his strange wheelchair. Faster and faster. They were going at a run, bouncing and jouncing down the street and out of Shora. Janus was holding on with all his strength, but shouting and laughing and loving it.
Hey, teacher! Can you keep up?
I think so.
Well, if you can't, then you and I had better change places.
Well, of course, I did try to keep up, but somehow, as we raced out of shore, I was worried. For where was Lina? She had gone down the dike road to the sea.
Teacher said to look where a wheel would be impossible. Certainly wouldn't be possible in the sea, so maybe I'll find one there. Oh, I'm being silly. Here's this big old shipwreck. I'll bet if I kick it, it's empty. Let's see. There surely won't be a wheel in it. So let's look in this hole where the board's loose.
Ho! In this boat! Ho!
out of there!
Oh, Grandpa Dalva. I almost died. You scared me so.
I'm no grandpa. Least of all not yours. What are you doing at my turned-over boat?
I know it's crazy. I was looking for a wheel.
How'd you know there's a wheel in it?
Is there?
How'd you know, I said?
Can I have it? Can I have it?
Now, what would a girl want a wheel for? And how'd you know there was one?
I didn't know, and we wanted for storks. We're going to bring storks back to shore, and we need a wheel.
Storks, eh? Well, little one, look up there in the sky.
Another 2 storks. They're all beginning to come, and we haven't the wheel yet.
Those 2 are among the leaders of the migration. There probably won't be more for a long while. A storm's coming up, and these 2 are racing in ahead of it.
Will the storm stop then?
Well, if it's a big storm, they'll rest somewhere to ride it out. If it's a very big storm and they're caught in it, some will drown, but most will probably get through.
When will the storm come?
Maybe tonight.
Then we've got to get the wheel up before then.
Can't.
We must.
Can't. The tide's coming in less than an hour. The ship will be underwater.
Then let's do it quick.
Well, if we hurry, maybe.
Let's hurry.
And that was it. If any stork had looked down at Shora, he would have thought it was a madhouse. For the boys and legless Janus and myself were rushing inland away from Shora. A girl and an old man were rushing to the sea, and in the village...
Yanka! 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 It's come! Your grandpa's finally cracked up! I saw him running to the sea with a saw! Maria! Open the window!
Yes?
Maria, your little girl Lina's in trouble. Old Dalva's mind is snapped. He was running to the sea with a saw, and Lina running after him. What could she do against a crazy old man? Good gracious!
We'll have the wheel just as soon as I saw through this board.
Look, Grandpa Dalva, the tide's coming in. We can't finish.
I'm not your grandpa, and we can finish. I figured it all out.
How?
Well, I raced through the village with the saw like an idiot. I made sure that all the busybodies and gossips and women saw us. They'll soon come to the shore in a troop to see what old crazy Dalvar is up to. And then they'll go and get help.
Oh, will we be safe? Can we hold on?
They wouldn't dare let anything happen to us. You'll see.
The sea's coming up over the boat, and it's slippery. Let's get off.
Don't worry, little one. Go get a farmer with a wagon. That'll do it.
We've got a wheel here. Go get a wagon to pull it out. Hurry!
Quiet little Shora was deserted. Lina and Dalva were stranded with the water rising to their feet on top of the large upturned boat. The tide was rising, as it does near the dike, swiftly and menacingly. But the men of the village, the fishermen, were out to sea. And the women, well, the women mostly were on the dike, screaming, "Lina, please come off. Hold on, be careful. We can't find a wagon." And we, legless Janus in his wheelchair, the children and myself, the teacher, we were going inland along the canal to get Elka's wheel.
Ha-ha! Come on, push your kids! Onto the canal!
We're pushing, Janus, but it's slow.
Where did it fall in the canal, boy?
Tell us, Elka.
There, a bit further.
Push! Push!
Here we are.
Teacher, you better tie this rope around my chest and the back of the chair so I can dredge for that rim.
Well, now wait. Wait till we catch our breaths, Janus. Mine's still back in Shora.
Breathe all you like, teacher, but tie me down while you do.
Well, all right, Janus. All right, sit still.
That's right. I like you, teacher.
Yeah.
Haven't had much to do with high-minded teachers since I was a boy.
No.
Thought they all just talked. But this one goes and does things.
Oh, well. All right, now, you're tied, Janus.
Now, everybody hold this old wheelchair while I dredge the canal.
Okay. Take it easy now. Watch out,
That's
take it easy.
right. Hold up.
Easy.
Hold up.
Don't pull up the whole canal, Giannis.
Easy.
The mud's bottomless. Teacher, looks like you better send a telegram to China. Have you fellas seen a wheel rim down there?
Hey, now let's rest a second, Giannis.
Tired, eh? All right. Well, there's a storm coming up. You feel that wind?
Yes.
We better hurry and... Wait,
Huh?
you hear something?
No.
On the wind from the sea. Listen.
It's the women. There's something wrong.
Tired or not? Can you all push?
Yeah.
Then back to Shora and the dike.
Okay.
So back we started along the canal to shore in the sea, and powerful, legless Giannis in his wheelchair urged us on. But what was wrong? What could it be? For only Lina had gone by the sea road, and we were so exhausted.
Stop! Stop!
What is it, Giannis?
Behind us! Listen!
I don't hear anything.
The tin seller in his wagon. We'll wait for it. It'll get us there a lot faster.
It was Auka and the Tin Man. We'd forgotten about Auka, our fifth boy, in the excitement. But that was the way with Auka, a quiet, nice, everyday boy. It was easy, perhaps, to forget him. But here he was with the Tin Man in the wagon.
Oh, my hole!
Hi, Uncle. Where you been?
I went in this. What's the matter?
You hear that sound?
Tin Man!
Yeah.
Tin Man! Let this old beaten-up horse run!
It can try.
Everybody, in the wagon!
Okay, let's go.
You never mind me. I'll hold on to the back of the wagon. The horse will pull us both, if he can pull the wagon.
So down the road we clattered. 5 boys, the Tin Man, the teacher, the Pots, and Giannis, tied in his wheelchair and holding on and back. We couldn't hear the women screaming down by the sea because of the noise. But inside me, I could hear them still, louder than the Pots. Lina, I thought, for she was the only one missing. Lina, whose project this was, whose imagination had started us wondering. Then suddenly we saw the women. And out in the sea, Lina and Dauva, up to their knees in water, standing on something, but what? Holding on to each other. And we stood in the wagon frozen, while the women ran over.
Thank goodness you came! Not much time! No one's in shore! And they can't swim!
Come on, you landlubbers! There's work ahead! Everybody, get those pots out of the wagon! You, teacher and the Tin Man, get the wheels off this thing! We're going to ride this old box into the sea as though it were a boat! The horse will pull us in the sea! Can he swim, Tin Man?
I don't know. I think so.
Well, he better! Everybody, get busy!
Throw it over here.
The sea roared, growing in power as the tide rose, and Giannis roared against it, shouting orders.
Oh, lift me into the wagon!
We lifted Giannis in the wheelchair into the wagon. Then the 5 boys clambered in.
Yeah.
The horse pulled the wagon into the sea, the storm wind stinging our faces. The horse was swimming, pulling us all, and Lina and Dauva were in the water holding on. And Giannis, this was the first time he'd been to sea since he'd lost his legs. And there he was, tied with a rope to his wheelchair, and as happy as a boy shouting orders.
We'll get you, little girl! Hold on! Tell that horse to pull, Tin Man! Pull!
We got Lina and Dauva and the wheel, and then we let the tide and wind carry us to shore. So we had our wheel. But before the excitement had died, before we were dry, the storm hit Shora. fishermen of Shora, the fathers, that is, of Shora, had come in their boats just ahead of the storm, exhausted. And for one full day, Shora slept at peace, indoors, while the storm raged. The next day, Shora awoke, and the children began...
Pa, help us put the wheel up. It's my wheel, Pa.
Lina, let your father rest. He was 2 weeks at sea.
But if the storks come, they'll fly past Shora.
We're tired, Lina. When the storm is over, we'll put it up.
No. Let me read.
Pa, please!
No, Yella, no. Not in this storm.
Pa? Pa?
Here, Dirk, stop nagging, or I'll knock your heads together so you won't have one head left between you. We've had 2 hard weeks at sea. The answer's no, no!
Pa, please. Legless Giannis and old Doll, and the teacher can't get it up. We need the fathers.
Auka, not another word. The storm's too strong, and stop pouting. The answer is no. No, no, no.
And no, it seemed. But when the storm broke, the children knew the fathers would be early that morning off again to sea, and the storks would come and find no wheel. So the children sat in class as silent as their books, could do no lessons.
But maybe they'll change their minds.
They said they're too tired.
My pa chased me to school.
But at home, the fathers were hearing the story of the search for the wheel, and of the storks that would bring good luck, as the women said, while their men were at sea. And the fathers listened, and their consciences brought them grumbling and grouchy through the storm to the school. Come in. Why, welcome!
Ah! They've come!
And the wheel went up, in that storm, up on the school.
Hold that ladder!
Hang on.
And there was Giannis shouting at the fathers.
Hey, up there! You're not doing it right. No stalker sit on a wheel so full of wires and nails. Make it simple.
Giannis, you old crab! You're a regular slave driver! The shark should have gotten your tongue!
Old Giannis's tongue was too tough for that shark. His boots and legs were softer. So let's get that wheel up.
And so there it was, the wheel on the school, waiting in the rain. But then, after all the search and all the effort, the blow struck.
Lina, did you see the papers?
No, Pa, I don't read the news.
Well, this you should. The 5-day storm raging over Europe came at the height of the yearly stork migration from Africa. It is feared most of the storks have perished in the sea.
Oh,
And so there it was, all for nothing. The children walked around, struck silent by the greatness of the tragedy, and stared at the cruel, harsh sea. They just stared, watching the endless waves. They found 2 dead and drowned storks on the beach, and not knowing what to do with them, they dragged them silently into Shora. There was only the legless Giannis who refused to be disheartened. Giannis wanted the storks as much as the children did, for the search had given him his pride again. Besides, there wasn't much pleasure in Shora for a legless man, but if the storks were to come each year...
You lunkheads. Yella auka, you stupid fools. Stop your crying, girl. Can't you see? The storm is good for us. It scattered the storks. Well, of course, some will die, but others would go to Germany or inland. We'll stop at our shore. They're late and have to build their nests quick. They've no time to fool around flying hundreds of miles just looking for the old places.
But the way Janus said it somehow didn't make them happy. In any way they looked at it, it was sad. So the children, the 6 school children, and even the very youngest children, just sat on the dike and looked at the sea. And because they looked at the sea so long, something happened.
Yellow! Lina! Those storks! They just fell in the sea!
Yeah? They must be dead, too.
How do you know, Alka?
But they're alive! The little kids saw them!
Look at the sea. There's nothing there.
Far out, they said!
Yellow, what do we do?
Climb the church tower and see. Come on! Let's see.
Look! There!
2 storks! All the way out on the sandbar.
They're too tired to fly.
Let's ring the bell and get help.
Okay.
Old legless Janus heard that bell and wheeled up to the school in a hurry. He'd be danged, he said, if he'd let those storks drown. He led us all down to the sea.
Say, teacher, you think you can lift me into the rowboat, eh? Now, don't forget, careful with these stumps, don't bump them. And then I want you to tie me to the seat with these ropes, tight, so I won't fall off when I row.
Janus, you're not going to row.
Teacher, you're not going to argue. Of course. You boys,
Yeah?
when I'm tied, you can push her off and hop in.
Okay.
Teacher, you will row from in back. I'll row from here.
About a half-mile out, we found the 2 nearly drowned birds. The children carried the heavy, wet birds into the school and warmed them at the fire. And then they carried them up to the wheel on the roof of the school. And everyone who lived in Shora, except the men who were at sea, stood around in the schoolyard and watched. They looked for a long time at the 2 storks on the wheel. Would the storks stay?
Hush, baby, hush. Not a sound. Hush, hush.
Grandma Sybil, will they stay?
Storks in Shora again. Oh, I hope so.
Janus, what do you think?
They'd better. That's all I can say.
Grandpa Dalva, will they stay?
I don't know. Maybe.
Teacher!
Hope, Lina, has brought us this far.
Look at the male stork, he's flying away!
Shh. Be quiet. He's just looking around.
He picked up a branch. Why?
I think he's going to stay. He's going to build a nest on our wheel. Let's wait.
The male's clapping his bill.
They're going to stay!
They're gonna stay!
Hey, there's no need to whisper anymore. Ring the bells out loud!
The impossible dream had happened. The children had wondered, and out of the wonder, storks had come to Shora.